Friends, lovers, enemies, rivals. Welcome to episode 47 of the Great Pendragon campaign. I'm Eric, I'm Game Master, as always, Master of Ceremonies, only bringing the all killer, no filler. Just the hits here today. Colin, Jim, how you all doing?
Doing good.
I'm very full of burrito. I just finished. It's starting to settle down.
That's good. That's a good time to be
heavy.
Yeah.
Settling heavy. Oh,
cool.
There
So
you
we have some stuff to get done today. We didn't play last week, but if you're just like numerous folks in chat who are super awesome and amazing, who have just been binging this, that doesn't matter because we just had a little bit of extra catch-up time to get to this moment. All right, poem for today comes from my homie Homer. Why so much grief for me? No man will hurl me down to death against my fate. And fate, no one alive has ever escaped it. Neither brave man nor coward. So I tell you, it's born with us the day that we are born. That's Hector to his wife before, well, we all know how the story goes. So how's it going, everybody?
nice.
Yes, nice.
Apparently, me and Jim are swapped on the overlay.
That's intentional. Congrats on the new names.
Freaky Friday.
Yeah.
Freaky Friday. No.
Do you know, this is such a stupid academic. Do you know which translation of Homer that is? I'm always curious. I know. I don't know.
It's not the new one. It's not the new
one. Okay.
The new one is good, by the way. For the record, some lady, it's like a feminist view of it, and it's like way better. It's like people have been raving about it, not just like, oh, because it's feminist, but it's like it changes a lot, some of the meanings. I had to read it for myself, but apparently some of the stuff gets way more like rosy and like, I don't know, seems more melodramatic, if that's possible.
It often gets said, it's like, oh, it's this feminist revision. It's like, no, man. One of the ones that so many academics have relied on is not that good.
Yeah.
It does some very
weird.
There it is, Emily Wilson.
And there it is in chat. That's right. Look, the Venn diagram of fans of the Iliad in this show. Very tight. Dad, thank you, Vord. You are a blessing.
On top of it. Yep.
Here you go. You are awesome. Awesome. Yeah. All so right. Anyways, anything you want to do for the winter?
The winter of 505.
I'm sorry, spring. It's springtime.
Oh, spring.
Yeah. Springtime before we go to the Easter feast.
Yeah.
You all have dodged or went under the radar for conflicts, deaths of cats.
Yeah. I'm sure I'll get in. I want to get some groundwork in because I guarantee I'm going to meet my daughter's husband to be at the Easter feast, but I want to know a little bit more about this Welsh knight that's coming there.
Okay. All right. So then I believe you're going to have to do sort of like an intrigue roll, and this kind of relies a lot on correspondence of folks in Sarum.
Right.
Everyone like that, right?
Intrigue. Boom.
That's what I thought. Okay. Perfect. So, what you vaguely remember them is that they're not super up there in the ladder. Like they're just like kind of like a lower ale. They're not like a marshal or anything like that. Not like a leader of a born, group. Just sort of like a Vavasor knight of the Wessex faction. They have
the Wessex or Escavalon.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misspoke. Sorry, yeah, Escavalon. So they are of rugged physique with a chiseled face. Their voice is rambling. You know them because they're well known for being tolerant of folks, except very prejudiced against the Cornish, and that this guy has a axe to grind with the Corns. Folks from Cornwall.
Okay. Can't say that I have an opinion on the Cornish yet.
His name's Madog.
God damn it.
Yeah, that's probably the
Is it? It's spelled different, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
of
Not,
course it is.
he's single D Mad
Single
Dog.
D. Yeah.
Not the double D Mad Dog. All right. Single D
Yeah.
Dog. Got it. If I don't like him, I'm definitely just gonna like carefully skip the first syllable of his name. That's how I'm gonna shit on him if I don't like him.
Right.
I'm a dog.
So here's some other things that you also gleam from this. Prince Delan is going to be here for the feast. He is one of the 2 visiting princes to the feast this year. Prince Delan comes from Nantilia, Astrologus, as the sort of spokesperson for the king.
Okay.
Furthermore, you'll be getting rumors that as the marshal, you have to do a lot more like paperwork and officiating to do than we have seen in the past. So like you're also getting people like already like, can you begin? Right?
No, that's not a problem. I got energy 19.
Yeah.
I'm an old guy with time to spare.
Fantastic. So
Haven't been sleeping in my bed for a while.
you're like, oh great, my lord, you can help me go through and count like the arrows in the armory or whatever, right?
Mhm.
Like all of that stuff. Okay.
Great.
The other thing you would know is that the Earl is getting married. I think I mentioned that last time we played. I'm not sure if I did or not.
Yes.
This was I got him mixed up when you were mentioning about the marriages, and I thought you were referring to the Earl's marriage, because the Earl's marrying someone from Wessex, right?
Right.
Princess. At least that's what I have in my notes. So if I misspoke. Okay. Cool. So that's why the feast is going to be kind of long today. So that's what you get for your intrigue. Sort of what you're understanding about the guy is that he's nothing super special. That is just very much like you are number 5 on the top 5 people being married, right? Not much.
Yep.
All of the headway. Where the lead is the Earl being married, right?
I think I'd also quietly inquire how much Gorthrin
And they're getting like a
spent on
3rd
his
round
Easter
draft
outfit
pick
this year.
Yeah, Gorthrin, how much are you spending on your outfit?
At least. Well, what's the max I can spend? Because there's a limit, right?
Yeah, there's a material limit here. All things being said and trade being what it is, I think probably 5 Libram would be the max.
Okay, that's a bit much for him, but
Yeah.
I definitely think we're gonna go with 3 this Easter.
Cool. Would you be wearing silks and things from like sort of Salisbury? Would you be like in the styles of the time of Salisbury? Would you be wearing more of the classic stuff from Silchester, or I should say classic, the contemporary fashions of Silchester, and sort of still whatever's in vogue in London? Or would you be going more towards even like Cornish or more Saxon styled garbs? Who is your couture? Right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about
Do you care?
Silchester. They've, I don't hold them in high regard after the events of last year. Or sorry, that Wessex, that Silchester defeated Wessex. My bad. So I
I
think
don't wear losers.
right, yeah, he's gonna snub his wife. His brand new wife. I think Gorthrin has been taken in by London since his visit.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
That's
right.
Yep. You got like 3 popped collars.
Yeah,
You're
he
going-
comes
you're going
back in
all
all the finest,
That is an
Ones.
incredible first sentence in like a chapter. If this were a book, that sentence would be the first one in the chapter that just sets the tone. Sir Gorthrin was taken in by London after the events of last visit.
Yes.
Yeah, he's down for it. He talks to all the merchants, the travelers. There's so many of them that come through Childerton. But before that, I'd like to. Oh, my train of thought just completely derailed. He wants to go riding. Like, I'm looking to increase his horsemanship, so I think he's going to do a lot of like cross country riding as the ground's thawing, and
Yeah.
you get your horse nice and muddy.
I love it. Yeah. All right. Go ahead and test your writing. If you pass, go ahead and give yourself a check. Yeah, you're doing well. I have a follow-up question to this. Because while you're writing, you probably have some thoughts on your brain, and I want to know if they ever go towards your child and that peasant girl that you left.
Oh, yeah, Dudug and Yisterin.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Do you,
do. I
do you
I
try to
mean,
see them, or do you restrain?
I mean, I imagine he sees them anytime he goes to Childerton at some point, right? Because they're in.
Not
That's where
always.
she's at, right? Not always.
Yeah, I will. Let's imagine sort of that case. Yeah, I mean, for the purposes of this example, like let's say the time, like when they're inside, right? Is the point of like, is it just a check in on the well being of like how's the kid, or is it actually like, do you want to physically see them? Like, do you feel sort of compelled?
Oh no, they're Gorthrun's kids.
Yeah,
that's how he sees it. He's like, yeah, I can't marry her, but they can't do anything about my kids.
This is fantastic. These are all things that will annoy Gareth if he finds out about them.
Oh yeah. No, he Gorthrun isn't going to do anything till he's 21 and gets the manor and is knighted and everything. But his full intention is to be like, oh, those are my children.
Yeah. Yeah. Then
he doesn't damn the consequences.
Yes. Then please,
yes.
Please go on that note. Please test reckless for me.
Yes. Yeah. He's daydreaming about it as he's writing. 20 years old that he is.
Yeah. Like, if I get married, why shouldn't I be able to see my kids? Perfect. Okay.
So you failed reckless.
Failed to be reckless.
All right. So
which means that you succeed at the other thing.
Basically being prudent. So there's this time where you're like, you're feeling that way about you're about to step up and ask to, like, no, seriously though, how is the kid? Like, let me see them. And they're like, well, they're busy. And there's this part where either better or luck will have it that maybe someone interrupts you from like doing this just incidentally, like maybe like Dudug, who heckles you, and all of a sudden like your brain goes to the side and it gets assuaged out of the way. So you failed at having any sort of bad consequences.
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't
for now.
For now, certainly.
Yeah.
And then so that covers that. Just to state it up here, he does want to go raiding if possible. He'll glom on whatever in the fall.
Sure.
The other thing is that Gwern,
looking for a +1.
I don't know. I don't have a family tree. It's like his second cousin or something from Mind Dog. And I think I meant to do this with Erwin before the big battle, but never got around to it.
Mm-hmm.
But Erwin would have asked Gareth if he would squire or at least make sure to find someone good for Gwern. That he sort of felt a responsibility to Gwern because he never ensured that Mind Dog would have a wife and a manor and all that.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Remind me, which Gwern is this? This is not
Mind Dog. His uncle's baby, right?
Uncle's baby. Okay, there's another
baby.
one somewhere.
That's
I think
there's a couple. There's a couple.
Nurse or something.
You have Wolfius.
Yeah, I got. Well, no, that's the thing. Gareth doesn't really think he has Wolfius at all.
Yeah, well, I can't wait for some. I would love to have a guest play Wolfius at some point.
He's on the family tree.
Yeah,
so I know when he was born. I've been keeping track how old he is.
He's squiring now.
Yeah,
he just turned squiring age, he's 16. Helid is also your daughter. Is Erwin's daughter?
Oh yeah, I have a whole. I had took the count. So
yeah,
Gorthrun is his oldest. Morgan, Helid, Hrodgar, Terran, and then Moriel, which I think I forgot to announce.
Yeah,
born in 504, the year that Erwin died.
Yes.
God,
I had 2 kids, and I think they were twins.
Morgan,
and I.
Yeah, for something was wrong with his player, just kept wanting alts.
Morgan is stewarding, but Helid is knighting.
Okay. I will make a note.
Yes. Okay. So with that all out of the way, all of that fun stuff, we get to go to the feast. As alluded to, this will be a much bigger feast than before because this is also the marriage of the Earl. So we're looking at a 5-round feast, everybody. We got a 5er on the hands. Like we got a category 5 feast.
Oh,
hitting
no,
Salisbury.
Elaine's hot.
Yes. Also, Prince Mark of Cornwall
not
had a glow up. Let me grab the token of him beforehand so you all know. You know what? This is not gonna. Oh yeah, there he is. I'm gonna show chat here. He was the. Oh god, I'm gonna go to the game screen. This is the previous Prince Mark of Cornwall.
Oh my god, he did.
He is the Chris Martin awkward hair looking fella. He had a glow up.
He went from like one of the main casts for Superbad to like one of the main casts of Game of Thrones.
Yes, very much so.
Damn.
Yeah.
Good
so
for you, Marky Mark.
So you would know this as the Marshal, no intrigue test. This is kind of just letting it ride from your previous one. So for all sort of like logistics and what's going on about regarding the feast and people, Lord Rufus is definitely going deep into the treasury of whatever's left. Probably has been asking for money from people for this feast, right? To show off the lavishness. You don't know if it's to... What I would say with this intrigue roll, and this will require more like further investigation during the feast, would be you don't know if this is his motivations for doing it. Obvious ones could be, this is his sort of exposure to the rest of Logris and Cornwall and stuff, being like, hey, like, look at me, I'm getting married, this is my legitimacy, like a flex like that way, right? It could be for himself, just so he feels better about it, right? All that kind of stuff remains to be said, but just objectively, he is kind of going all out here. And it's like, whoa, we still have the money for that? And he's like, and he has the don't worry about it look.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to have to acclimate to not being able to draw cards. But I think I'm going to have more to do.
But yes.
That's fair. I mean, I'm also not that pretty anymore. Oh, that's true.
Being the Marshal of Salisbury, by the way, Chad, this is sort of like a modification of the rules. Being a Marshal of Salisbury means when Gareth succeeds at his appearance test, his success does not mean near the salt. It means above the salt, because that is his proper station.
Appearance. 14. So chances are I passed this, but I could not. I fail, so I get to draw cards.
You pull some strings to make sure that you get to draw cards. I love that.
I do, in my age, I do a little bit more dribbling than they want up at the marriage table.
Yep.
I was about to lament.
Prince Mark is a little too large. Gareth, would you? Yeah, I'm no problem.
Yeah, we may have to move so and so off. No, I'm just a Vavasaur technically. I'll sit down there.
No problems here.
How is my spouse handling my rather heavy-handed political decision that affected the family to marry my daughter off and a lot of other...
We didn't really talk about it, but they're not... I know. They're not super happy about it, not because of the affinity towards your children, but more like we didn't talk about it either. This seems like a kind of a unilateral move that kind of required at least a communication beforehand, a courteous communication beforehand.
Okay.
But so they're ruffled about it, but they're also doing the thing where they're not confrontational about it, which probably makes it even worse.
Yeah, I'm going to test generous versus selfish, see how I kind of handle their feelings, whether or not I'm a dick or not. So I think I try to be nice about it. Okay.
You fumbled being nice.
I think I tell them off. I'm like, I need you to understand you're my spouse, but they are not your children, not of your blood at least. And so their fates were my decision, not yours. I bring you to my confidence because I wish to. And when I do not wish to, or when I see no need to, I will not. And that is how it will be.
Your spouse, like I am another manor to hold. What has gotten into you? And yeah, that's sort of like, it doesn't go anywhere nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God. We're end to life here. I gotta piss away all this happiness while I have control of them.
Yes, that's a giga oof. All right, I am looking in my notes for the princess, and I do not know why they're not in my notes.
The reason I asked is like generally how we're going to be comporting ourselves and seated at this feast. I now imagine we're both incredibly straight backed and not touching and not looking at each other. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm like scrolling through the names. It's not there.
I have to roll lustful to
There it
do
is.
anything
Ethelwolf.
first round. Anyway.
Yeah.
All
Need the
right.
lustful, so he's flirting.
Fantastic. I think there's some French viewer of ours who's we keep fucking up how we roll traits.
Mhm.
I feel bad for them, but
What are
also
why? What are we doing wrong?
I don't know. I've read this comment a couple times and I keep forgetting what it says.
I don't know. I mean, after all this time, it's like going to whatever the book says would feel weird.
Yeah.
If it's even like, I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
All
right. Well, the princess's name is Ethelwolf.
Dope name.
Yeah. And she is a lord. All right, sorry about that. I was looking for the name, so I did not see what you got. So you succeeded at your lustful.
Yeah, actually, I have to pass chaste is what it is, but
okay. So we can ignore the lustful and
you know,
Mm-hmm.
It's not as if he tries to resist.
No. And this is. Let me get the music going. You are dressed to the nines. You are definitely one of the tastiest morsels on the menu. That is Salisbury. Which isn't saying much. It's like a golden corral.
You are the Salisbury steak.
Yeah, you are the Yeah.
All right, it's good to be a big fish in a small pond.
That's exactly what it feels like. In fact, I think what really sells it for you here is that I think Prince Alan and Prince Mark agree that, like, my God, you were one of the most you appear to be one of the most handsome members of Salisbury, that we've seen. Of this parochial.
Right. Gotta start making an annual trip to London now.
Yeah, they're filling your heads for sure.
Now my question is Gorthrin's new Saxon bride here? Are they married yet? And is he gonna flirt with her?
You won't be married yet, but
he is sort of.
Yeah, we're doing like the Easter part stuff. Yes, yeah, exactly. Okay. So I don't remember what happens is actually in a feast when you actually succeed at that. You're still at the feast, right? Just means you're off snogging?
Oh yeah, it just means the first thing I have to do when it's my turn is flirt and not like draw cards or intrigue or anything. Like the first thing I have to do is
what does flirting do?
Oh, I
have no idea what it mechanically.
Hold on.
Yeah, it's in Book of Feast, page 14.
You think I should have known this by now?
No, it's all right. But so there's a roll flirting, a success, grants flirting check, 10 glory if it's a crit. And if the flirting characters in the same or adjacent seating areas, success also opens up the opportunity for conversation or further rolls on the character's part, ultimately leading to romance. And it gives a procedure for how the romance might develop. It could be just conversation or something.
Yeah,
that's what he tried to do last year.
Sure. So I think you are below the salt, right? No, you're almost 6. You should be near the salt.
Yeah.
Okay, so you would still gain your geniality for this turn. furthermore, this will open you up to talk to. Let's pick your poison. Can you do me a favor and can you roll D189?
Love it. That is a very Eric sentence.
Immediately try to start figuring out how to do it with actual dice.
Right?
That's 85.
Okay, so you are talking to Sir Marin. Sir Marin is the one of the children of Huel. They are chiseled and stylish. They're known for their rather high honor, badass tattoos, and arbitrary demeanor. But he's also kind of getting into British Christian stuff. Like he's been... But you're probably not talking about that. You're probably talking about where he got his tattoos.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, all right. Well, I'll flirt with him whenever he gets to be... Unless I missed it and Garrett's already taken his turn.
Nope. No, I was about to say...
I mean, we can
out of
do it right now if you want, but yeah.
Deference was going to let it pass, but it is my turn.
No, I'll let you... You have the more greater
He's a little older. Yeah, he's a little older than you. He's only 24.
Okay.
Yeah. I am so close to getting the 4th feast card. Not
It's
yet.
from Porton.
All right, let's see what we got. We've got mistaken identity. A knight mistakes you for another. He praises you for deeds you did not perform. Drunken lout. A drunk knight dancing clumsily bumps into you. Forgiving versus vengeance. Boasting knights. Knights nearby boasting of their great deeds. Comparing orate. Let me check orate before I commit to that one. I don't think I bumped orate. Yep, 3. No thanks.
Which one are you feeling? Mistaken identity? Because you're sitting at your quote unquote wrong table?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
or you feel like getting...
Were
you Irwin?
I think I want to lean into like I ain't having a good time. Gareth is not happy Gareth right now. So
Sure.
I think drunken lout fits in that milieu better.
Sure, yeah. You're still stewing on the stuff about your wife, I guess?
Right.
You haven't
like, my
had enough
spouse
libation?
My spouse and I aren't talking.
Yeah.
My daughters aren't talking to me. Much of Salisbury hates me. So when a drunken knight bumps into me, it's like, I just had nice cold meat slice and ginger sauce and it flaps to the ground. I'm like, okay, forgiving versus vengeful. My forgiving is not high. Oh boy.
That's a failure.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it's a critical...
Your vengeful.
Oh,
Check your
shit.
vengeful.
Yep.
Drunk
Oh my
night.
god. What if I don't... Like, I don't knock him to the ground now. I, have one of my men-at-arms kick the shit out of him in Staples.
Oh, that's even better. I love that. All right, you do lose a bit of geniality, but that's freaking cool.
I earn one, I lose one. So I'm gonna put this sideways so I remember.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Let's just for my own thoughts. Let's say let's do a D8, and let's say 1 to 4 is Salisbury. The next two are well, you already rolled, so I was gonna say let's roll a D2. 1 is Astrologus, and the other one is Cornwall. All right, so it's
Cornish
Cornwall.
knight.
So some Cornish knight. All right, I just want to know. Yeah,
I send my daughter's betrothed to get the shit.
yeah.
I'm just like, oh, that Cornish knight.
Oh.
And because he bumps into you too. You're like, oh,
Mhm.
really? That's who? Fucking nice. Let's give him a name. Rune. He was about to get ruined down.
Mm-hmm.
He better ruin real fast.
Oh.
Woof.
I'm gonna mark him injured.
You know,
Just in my notes.
thankfully, forgiving is not necessary for a chivalry bonus. That is, you don't need that. Thankfully, the chivalry has nothing about forgiving. Yeah.
So actually, this isn't your daughter's betrothal because they're betrothed to Astrologus. This is Cornish.
No, I was saying I send her betrothed to kick the shit out of the Cornish Knight.
Oh my god, I thought it was the other way around. Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah. Run. Oh, that's way better. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes. That makes more sense.
So I looked this up. Apparently, a cockatrice is when you take the front half of a pig and you sew it onto the bottom half of a chicken and then serve it to eat. And if you Google it, there are some disturbing photos that you can see of it.
I'm good.
No.
I'm good now. Bad. I was like, how bad could it be? It's just food. That's fucking weird.
That's terrifying. Like if somebody served that, I'd be like, what is it?
Oh my god.
These medieval
No.
They
Somebody
love
was
their
like-
yeah.
They
love
to
their
just
weird
play
food.
with their food. Yeah,
Yeah.
they love their weird food. Just gonna
They're
like
like-
take this half and so it's
Yeah, they're like, look, it's a cake, but it's actually meat. Surprise!
it's actually meat. There's fucking birds in it.
Yeah.
I gotta say-
cook the bird.
The reverse is almost as bad of the front
yeah.
half of chicken and the back half of a pig.
I'm gonna put that.
That's-
I'm putting that in a game.
Yeah.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, that's bad. Ooh. All right. I love that it's on this menu here.
Yeah.
All right.
So we must all suffer.
Let's see how well Portman does in chatting up. So he gets. Do I get a bonus for the appearance, like the fashion, or just the geniality?
Did you test fashion?
No, not fashion, but the clothes he spent money on for the appearance bonus. Does that count at all in this, or just geniality?
It's whatever you roll that is added to your appearance to see where you sit. Otherwise, I don't think it
that's
has
the
any
other- okay.
effect.
That's
Yeah.
what I thought. Just curious.
You could, if you wanted to get like a bonus to a roll, I will allow you to test fashion at your skill plus the amount of money you spend on your clothes to get to confer some sort of bonus.
Like
Got
if
a
you're
big zero
flirting
for
with
that.
someone from London,
Yeah.
Look at
that
these
might
days.
matter.
All right, so we are flirting.
Yeah, so Orthman's kind of like, he knows that eyes are on him, right?
Mhm.
But he's also got this other knight, older, actually knighted. So this sort of like, he maybe approaches it a little, like, maybe being a little coy, and just trying to find a friend, see what's up,
Yeah.
see what they're up for. It's Easter. Everybody's having a good time.
Yeah.
He's about to get married.
Oh, so yeah, maybe that's where the flirting conversation goes. He was like, "Oh, but are you married? You're not married yet."
No,
Finger circles
no.
the cup.
Not yet, not yet. Soon. I haven't met her, but I suppose it'll be all right. But that's some other day. I'd rather talk about today.
Puts a hand on your shoulder. Hey, it's gonna be okay, man. You're doing. You
Yeah.
gotta serve. We all gotta serve. And
That we do. Well, I think
Have you-
that's
have you ever tamed a mare?
well, I mean, I've seen it done up by the stables, and I think Gorthred, like any innuendo, is going to go over his head.
Yeah.
So he assumes that they're actually talking about taming a mare.
Right. Instead, he's just being insensitive culturally because it's Saxon.
Oh, this guy, Sir Marin?
Yeah. He's because you're marrying a Saxon wife, and so
I see. Gotcha. Oh, okay. I get it. Jim is going on
yeah, no
a
problem.
day of working and parenting. So
And yeah, and it's even better because Gorthrin doesn't really understand what he was trying to do.
It's like, huh? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, sure. I've seen them tame mares.
And he
What of
realizes
it?
that this joke isn't going to go, so he drops it.
Yeah. So I think in terms of like what I'm looking for, I think right now a friendly NPC, and we'll see where it goes. Like I had two options with flirt. One of them was like make a friend, and then it might develop. And the other's just like
he's
squire.
Yeah, but he's happy to go. Like you're all right, and like clink glass.
Yeah, Gorthran's gonna stick around with his feast.
Yeah, and I think maybe one of the cool things that this guy doesn't really he has not brought up your father or your legacy at all. Like he's really just talking to you like mano y mano. He is.
Yeah, Gorthran's into it.
Yeah, which doesn't happen too often for you.
Oh yeah, he's into it. If he treats Gorthran like Gorthran's his own man, then
that's exactly it.
He's got Gorthran's attention.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Lovely. All right, so are you just going to continue to flirt? And
I probably will next round too, just to.
No problem. All right, got your geniality, Gareth?
Yeah.
Why are we...
Oh my.
All right, while you're doing that, 1 second, let me grab... I
got two of the same cards. Interestingly.
Here we go.
It's too good.
Great deeds twice.
Yeah, I gotta go with it. I got it twice. That's a sign. But
Several knights ask you to tell you of your great deeds, which makes sense. I mean, this is probably the princes, right? This whole feast, you've seen them kind of talking to each other kind of privately. They're everyone knows they're kind of enemies. It makes it pretty obvious that, their dads are going to be fighting next year, right?
Yeah.
But like they're just kind of buddy here at the feast, right? As they do. They're probably sharing something about how pitiful Salisbury is probably what it is. And they're like, well, I've heard great things about this Erwin and this Sir Gareth, the Dauntless. And I've heard that the Rock of Shoulderton's no more, but Gareth, tell us about the battle.
And I roll modest. Fail modest. And crit proud. Oh my god!
What the hell is this? This is Dark Gareth. What?
Yeah. And now here's what sucks. I'm not good at orating. I do get my genealogy.
You're you're in a sour mood. That's incredible.
What?
You should invoke a passion for your orating.
It's too late. I rolled it and I still got it.
Did you even add your geniality to it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I still would have gotten it without the genealogy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh god.
Amazing. So yeah, you retell the Battle of Alder's Gap, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, not bad at all.
Yeah, I think Gareth, and I don't think this was Gareth being proud in the sense of like self-aggrandizing. I think Gareth is trying to impress on them, like, don't fuck with me. Like, just to be clear. There's nothing. I succeeded at the orate, so it was a tale well told, but this was not for fun. Gareth was like, no smiles the whole time, but just fucking shark-eyed at them as I'm telling.
Yeah. This whole time, right? They've been like, tell us. They treat you as a soft target, and you're like, no. Like, this is the fight that we have. So that's why Salisbury lays unconquered. Right?
Yeah.
That is beautiful. You gained any glory from that?
I gained immediate 10 glory.
Yeah. You should gain another 10 glory for impressing the two princes. Right?
Okay.
making them get
Impressing
goosebumps a little bit about, fuck around and find out.
Princes of Cornwall and Wessex, right?
Dude, tell it. Yeah. You know, like they're doing that classic fucking swirling the wine glass and being like, tell us how Salisbury throughout the Anarchy has remained unconquered. Is it truly that this is not just that great of a prize? And they're like, no, we have fought him. You know,
I think Garrus is like, on the day that I killed Duke Gaulois, I was left for dead to crawl out of the pit of corpses of our own troops. At Alder's Gap, I crawled out of a pile of corpses quite untroubled of Wessex troops. It's like,
oh my god, dude. God, yeah, you immediately shut up Prince Mark, right? When you mention Duke Gaulois, right?
Mm-hmm.
You immediately, it's like, you own him, and then Elaine is like, with Wes, it's so good. That's delicious, man. Again, like, these guys are like a third year age, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or maybe a little more than half. Yeah, but like, whatever. You know, super young.
My manor is built on chalk, compressed bone of old creatures. I'm always willing to add to the chalk.
Yeah, that gravelly voice adds a lot of merit to your argument.
Gorthrin's like a table away, just like, what is Uncle Gareth talking about? What the fuck?
He's on a day.
I mean, everyone doesn't know what you're talking about, but like the rest of the group, but they see you address the high table and you watch the pale expressions, right? The blood drain from the faces of the princes as you sit back down. You do that like, what's his name? Not Captain Kirk, but the other guy. He adjusts his suit for sitting down.
The Riker.
Yeah.
The Riker pull.
Yes.
And remember, I need help like getting up and out of chairs. Like standing and sitting a chair. So like I just described this and I'm like, ugh.
It is absolutely lovely. Without any intrigue roll needed, they will be absolutely stopping their quiet shit talking of Salisbury.
Right.
All right. Okay. I think Gorthrin's going to another round of flirting. He's now looking to see who like Sir Marin runs around with, if there's any action of the martial sort going on. He's just looking to see if there's like just a group of knights who are all just bro friends and they're just going to go out and fight things, kind of, he's just simple man, simple needs. Let's go.
So you want to do like some feats of strength kind of stuff?
He's more looking to see what kind of connections that Sir Marin has in terms of like, people he goes raiding with, or like, that kind of thing. Like Gorthrin is looking for
the equivalent of hanging out with the cool kids.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah,
he's trying to get in on that scene. So you go raiding much?
Funny you should
ask.
Yeah, and it's kind of like it's the funny you should ask. Yeah, and they will mention that we got word here that Siagris might have bit off more than he could chew. Yeah, that damned silver Roman devil might be in the dirt. The point here is that his lands are ripe for the taking.
Oh yeah.
Now you don't know like how broke and like destitute the place was, right? Like dramatically, we do. But these guys think that there's still money to be made there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Right, and glory to be had.
Right, and glory to be had. Yeah. I think the only thing Gorthrin knows is that for the last 2 years of Erwin's life, all he talked about was going and stomping out that little rat.
Yeah.
So yeah, Gorthus. Oh yeah. Well, you should take what's left. Can't let anybody else have it. Traitors.
Yeah. Stuff does belong to us. Yeah. Yeah, Gorthrin, listen, if you're not doing anything this fall, right?
Yeah, always have free time.
Nice. Yeah, you found a pack to run. You found a pack of wolves to run with.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Especially with that flirting roll. Yeah, you're securing yourself a good friend here.
Yeah.
Nice. I remember those.
It's called a fantasy role-playing game. For I have a house. I could just make friends effortlessly.
Kinda.
There you go.
This is not. Remind me again. What? Wait, I know this guy's name. I'm gonna put notes here, and I lost in the list of people.
No worries. While you're doing that, I got my cards, and one of them's a house
Marin.
card, so it's
Yeah.
Marin, yeah.
No problem.
I'm just gonna highlight this row because I'm keep losing it.
Yeah. He's a Salisbury knight, yeah.
Yeah, friends with Erwin. He is he's Portland Manor, which I'll have to look up later.
All right. So, host passes by. Got to play the host card. Speaks with you a topic you hold dear. Strongest passion choose if tied. Now, looking at my thing, normally honors my highest passion, but tied with it is my loyalty to Lord.
Well, then it could be none other than the host passing by defaults loyalty of Lord.
Yeah,
right?
that seems good. Seems right and true. So roll that.
Framing this for a minute. Of course, he comes by and talks to you. He's like, sure, show those little princes what the hell's up, right? Salisbury is stronger than ever, eh? He's really looking for someone to rub his ego, right?
Oh yeah.
Unbeknownst to him is how much you are dealing with your own inner storm.
Yeah.
At the moment. But you know what he wants.
Salisbury is strong. As strong as the bond between Liege Lord and those who swear to him. For Liege Lord who does right by his shall be done right by them in return. And where they are abused, neglected, or treated with perfidious abandon, so too will the Lord be abandoned.
Right, it's all about the ebb and flows, such as the tides. Looks
Things
like
may
yours
ebb
is
and
coming
flow. Mine left long ago.
in. Don't say that. Listen, you're my marshal, man. Look, I spoke to some of the priests, and we could see about getting you an extra stipend for your troubles for bolstering up Salisbury. You know how hard it is that you work for the defense of this country and these fair lands. How about a little reward for your efforts?
The efforts I do protect
Would you like some
Salisbury.
graft?
The efforts I do protect Salisbury. Can think of no other reward. Certainly no other reward tied to my activities.
He looks at you incredulously. Because he's never heard of a knight who'd be willing to turn down some money. Right? A stipend per year, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, now, I can't also have my loyalty be questioned or have my marshal feel like they go lacking. Or if my marshal goes lacking, then I fear for the rest of my army. Are you sure?
If it is commanded so, I shall not make complaint. But man would complain at
And
good
it is
fortune.
done! And like he interrupts you as like he claps your hand, right? He
Gareth just like twitches a little, just like, fuck this guy, God.
Yep, he is. Look, he is the worst. All right.
I love it.
He is the worst, and you're getting a little bit of graft. The church is going to help pay for it. You're going to get an additional 2 librum a year awarded to you for your station.
All right.
At least that's what the paperwork says.
Yeah, and so Gareth's gonna try and figure out something to do with this 2 libra a year.
Hey man, that's the deal.
Yeah, could definitely
help fund your scriptatorium. You can give it to your partner. There's lots of things you could do.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Earl trying to schmooze up. Look, if someone's trying to secure power, you absolutely want the general, right? The general needs to be in your corner.
Smart move.
And that's
He's
exactly
not gonna,
right.
He's not gonna like what I'm gonna do with it.
You know.
Yeah. You hold one of the few keys to power in Salisbury, right? Being nominated and ratified as marshal, right?
Yeah. See,
So,
here's his mistake.
He needs you.
Yeah, his mistake was making an official, putting a ring on it.
Yeah.
Because if he'd known Gareth's investment in the idea of protecting Salisbury, he would know that he didn't need to make him officially marshal. Gareth's going to be throwing his ass into any problem that he can. But by making it official, now he's got to play ball. Now we got to play by the rules, at least publicly. So I've already got an idea what I'm going to do with that 2 libra a year. He's going to fucking hate it.
Good. Make him eat it. Yeah, that's exactly how it goes.
Right. Personal ballot.
So you're drawing cards.
All right. A knight says he hired a personal valet, but sadly he cannot afford the boy any longer. I hire them for a cost of 1 libra per year, and if I do, they have a fashion skill of 2d6 plus 4. As long as it remains in your employ, you may substitute their fashion skill for your own.
That's.
I think I think that this is perfect. Wow.
He's from London.
Yeah, I'd love to. I was in London recently.
I mean,
we've not had Gorthrin long, and I'm already really liking his this sense of aesthetics that he has. Like he does fashion. I don't think me and Erwin ever give a shit about fashion.
No.
One year I think I dumped some money into it, and I was like, it's not for me.
Yeah.
I'll wear simple shit. I don't care.
Nice. He's got grand deeds and a grand look.
Hell yeah.
So yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'll pay that.
Oh, absolutely. Let me.
Want me to roll that 2d6, or you got it?
No, you go ahead and do it. I got to update the manor with that note here for this year.
11.
Nice.
Nice. And that's what these person.
Right. Their name is Bronwyn. Bronwyn is your valet.
You don't need bolt cloth.
Yeah, it will keep you styled up.
Ooh.
I think they get a steward. Okay. Now, Gareth.
Yours.
All right. Events for the feast. This is the transition towards the more of the marriage side of the events.
Yeah.
So let's do some more food. We're not gonna redo the table setting or anything like that.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep things going. More cock and tries. They got Apparently, no one really went
they
around.
serve the other half of it.
Yeah.
That's what it is. They serve the other half of it.
Hippocras.
Oh god.
Yeah.
This is gonna be just another
Okay, it's a drink.
wine flavored with spice. Isn't that a digestive? Usually whenever there's spices involved, they thought it was like a digestive.
Yeah.
Okay.
That does sound right. Saragon, thank you so much, friend.
Okay. Ooh, this was a highly valued gift item in the same vein as jam and fruit preserves.
Sweet drink
Okay.
afterward.
Love to see it.
So it was part of their belief that all food should be along these four points.
Yeah.
So the Hippocras is like meant to balance out your other stuff.
Yeah, it's also like why you get astrological herb cakes and stuff like that. Apparently, it's all for digestion and yeah.
As
Sure.
above, so below. Wonder if Ockentrice is it bilious, sanguinous?
I think it would be the opposite of Hippocras because they say like wet food like suckling pig.
Certainly wet food. Glistening wet food.
Interesting. Oh, Hippocras is what sort of led to sangria. That's what we're dealing with.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yes.
sweet spiced wine. There we go.
nice.
Like it. On that note, one of the cards I got is Queasy. More drink and pagan pleasures. For pagan pleasures, does that mean I have to draw another one since I'm not pagan?
Yeah, I would
Okay.
probably. Yeah, it doesn't seem to apply, unless you already have a card that you want to pick from the other ones.
No, not really. None of them are super.
Sure, draw another card.
Keep dancing.
You've earned it.
Oh boy.
We doing a dance off?
The thing is, Gareth's body is so torn up. I don't know that he, even in when he was good, he wasn't a huge dancer.
No.
I think it's time for more drink. So everyone's gonna test indulgence, and yeah, if you pass indulgent, it means you drink. If you fail indulgent, it means you don't.
Give in to your indulgence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am not very indulgent. So I am drinking. God, after the night I'm having, I'm just like,
Wine.
Is that a check to indulgent after that?
let me see. It refer to table 2.2 for the effects of the indulgent roll. I think that it's the same as what we have for the drink and dranks handout.
Yeah.
So my roll would have been modified according to what's being served, but I passed it anyway, so doesn't matter. 5 rounds or more, -2. Yeah, that wouldn't have affected it. Success, drunk. So I am now drunk. +5 to flirting, orate, lustful, reckless, indulgent, and valorous. -5 to everything else.
Nice.
Because my energetic is 16 or higher, I will never pass out from drinking.
Yeah. Never. All right.
Love it.
Um,
Gorthrin, your turn. Oh, you are.
Yeah, I rolled indulgent, succeeded. He's drinking.
You're drunk as well.
Yeah, I also have a 16 energetic.
drink deep.
So he is
Yeah.
having a good time with his new friends, just being dudes together.
Actually, I think someone's going to call, maybe not like Lord Rofus, but not Sir Gareth, but someone else will be calling to get you, right? Like looking for you particularly, to come back to the feast. Because I imagine you guys were kind of hanging out, maybe like by the stables, not doing like, you know, if smoking cigarettes was a thing, it's behind the bleachers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not quite my uncles when we were younger, saying that they were going to the garage to look at the Jeep.
Yeah.
I did. I mean, I knew later what they were doing, but
Certainly.
for the longest time, I was like, Do they just really like? They've looked at that Jeep before. They know what it looks like. I had no idea.
They
No
love their
idea.
Jeeps.
Innocent baby lamb.
Just need an excuse.
All right, so you're about to meet your wife, which is why they call you here, drunk.
Okay. Ooh. All right. What are we doing?
All right. So this is when the Wessex folks arrive. In addition to sort of like Lord Rofus's wife, who I cannot remember the name of offhand. It's a great name, Ethelwolf.
Ethelwolf.
Let me upload the token for you. Now announcing, Elda Sweeterun is her name.
Hilda Sweeterun. Oh, good for Gorthrin.
Yeah. All right. She's the Saxon heiress.
Yep. So, what does it look like when you two finally meet? Obviously, she is dressed to be wed, and she's wearing sort of like a syncretic version of sort of the Saxon cloth, but in the Cymric styles. So like a very like proper and modest dress, but like that firm Saxon cloth that we've been seeing so often. I believe it's in a nice. I believe she explicitly got it made in the silver like accents and the blue of your house as a sign. So I think there's this sort of awkward look. So to give you a little bit more of a description, she walks a little differently. Like there's something about her gait to you that's just a little different. She to her like on the skin of it, like on the judging a book by her cover, you see she asks you like, you know, how do you do? But she says it in sort of like she clearly doesn't speak as well Cymric as she does Saxon, right?
Okay.
So she has this sort of like I'm not gonna like do like the accent kind of stuff, right? But you can imagine almost like broken Cymric a little bit, right?
Okay.
She has a little wry smile to you, like she's always keeping a secret. She does the I like you, moves the hair out of her eye move to you. And when she does that, you can move that she's wearing a pendant, you can see that's clearly for like she is a devout pagan, right?
Okay.
Of like Odin or Wotan or something.
Right. Okay. So I think Gorthrin wasn't expecting anyone.
Hello. Yeah, I know. Like you,
Right. I mean, like when she shows up in his colors, I think that's Gorthrin like is taken aback because he was expecting someone who'd be.
She has.
You know,
she has an
really.
appearance. She has an appearance of 17. So
okay.
She's.
Yeah. I think Gorthrin's like, oh, I to be married.
Yes, it is. It is what we were. You know, it is what I was told. And I've heard great stories of you and your family.
I'm sure you have. Think about that some other time. This is our
No.
wedding day. I think
Yes.
Gorthrin is like really getting into it now that he actually sees her.
Gorthrin, now, do you like to dance?
I enjoy it.
As soon as you do that, she grabs your hands excitedly and like, let's go, right?
All right.
And she will lead you on the upbeat dance. That's not this song.
It's not this one. So it's not that +5 from being drunk does not apply to dancing.
Really?
Yes.
How does dancing not get a benefit for being drunk?
Your perception of your own dancing definitely goes up, but
yes,
can confirm.
Right. What is her name again?
Sweeterun.
Sweeterun?
Yes. I believe is how it's pronounced.
Okay.
It means river of joy.
This has changed Gorthrin's life. He'd been spending this entire time going like, I'm not going to take this seriously at all.
All right.
Oh yeah. I think Gareth
Let's
was
roll-
describing sexy women as giants.
Yeah,
Gareth, they're
right?
giants who lift you up and parade you around town naked.
Yeah, and instead you get a rather like comely looking fella. My question here is test dancing for me.
All right, here we go.
And you do get a -5 to it.
Oh, that's a fumble.
Ooh.
It's bad for him.
Ooh.
Oh,
That's real bad, my friend.
yeah.
Okay. I believe this is like halfway through the dance. You're getting the hang of it, right? You know, it's sort of like a do-si-do sort of like square dance kind of style of rhythm, right? Only there's this part where you're supposed to like switch and go the other direction. And instead you run right into her and like smash her face.
Oh no.
Right? Like
Yeah.
with your arm, like you're swinging and you deck her. Yeah, no, exactly, right? And she falls to the ground. And you don't, and like you can't tell. It's like she immediately covers her nose, right? There's a gasp as some like I guess like handmaids around the place will like help her, and you probably feel terrible.
Yeah, I mean, he's having a good time. He's drunk. This is great. The whole day changes, and then just elbow right to the face.
Yeah.
Silence,
you
just
big broke
lug.
your wife's nose on the dance floor
Right.
on your wedding.
It's fragile. Should I not have touched it?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Ooh, yikes.
Marin is nowhere to be found for you.
Of course.
Right. And you're left kind of awkwardly. The dance, like the music, kind of stopped. And it's just really awkward for you. And we're just gonna linger on that moment, and that's all. There's no life raft coming to you, Jim.
There really isn't. There really isn't. He's just. I mean, he's not gonna make it worse by getting more involved.
Oh no.
So keep his distance, but he is also just.
Yeah, it's 1 point of appearance. Yeah.
Right. Oh no.
Oh, did I say 17? I meant 16.
Oops. Because he, like you said, we're there for a brief moment. He was like, "Oh, this could be really great."
Yeah. No, that's exactly it. No, I was trying to pitch that. It's like, yeah, there was this point where like it's literally like that part of the montage where you guys get in sync and it's great, and then record scratches you.
Yeah.
Clock her right in the nose accidentally. Oh. Yeah, so it's embarrassing. Of course she's asking her friends like, what did I do wrong?
Yeah. All right.
Poor Jim.
All right. I've had worse fumbles. Still.
It's true.
Wrong foot.
All right. Is this the last?
Yeah, was that round 4?
I believe that's round 4.
Round 4. Okay.
My tracking was round 4.
Genealogy from last time. I got 1 genealogy for round 5. Round 3.
Yeah.
Boom.
I will give you all a freebie bit of gossip.
Yeah, hit us.
Prince Alan is a new prince. Formerly, Alan has been trying to hide it, but he's been here before. But he was here as just a lowly squire of another knight. There's no way you would have known like who this person was, right? Completely nondescript. He is of last year been recognized as the son of Prince Inteliad. So he is a bastard now formally recognized. Now, Gorthrin, I'm wondering if that means anything to you and your own situation with your kid of like, oh man, if a prince could be recognized and like, what
Anybody.
Yeah.
I think it's certainly like he makes note of it. It's like as he's
Mm-hmm.
bright red and gigantic, trying to
Did I misspeak? It's King Nantiliad and Prince
being
Elaine.
mentally. Yeah, he'll make note of it. You know, the world's changing.
Yeah, this is a special thing.
With all these knights.
There might be a chance for your own kid. Yeah, right.
Yeah. I think that he does. I think he really. They're his kids.
Yeah, and during the feast, someone we may not be done with the matrimonies. Gareth.
Okay.
It is not what you think.
Is it not what I think?
No, it is what you think. All right. Your daughter is getting ready to head over to like be with the entourage, right, of the men from Astrologus.
Mm-hmm.
And there's sort of this point, right, where there's sort of like a paternal kind of duty as part of the marriage part. And maybe like it's something we could almost equivocate it to walking your daughter up the aisle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it probably is extremely uncomfortable for you, considering how much they do not care for this about and what you've done to them.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and impress on her in the short hobble over. Like, I did not ask you to forgive me for the choice I made on your behalf. I would beg you to remember that I am your father, and that I love you dearly. That there is no length I would not go to assure your safety, if not your happiness, in this forthcoming marriage.
Perhaps I could have believed that before you sold me like a horse. And like, and like as she gets ready to go up, and it's just not, there's not a lot of salvaging it. It's
that's fair. Had to be said though.
A pawn. Yep, of course. And like you mean it, and that's it just sucks, right? Like
that's just
giving away a kid.
I made my choice.
I can think of any more punishing. Yeah, right. Talk about pathos. It sucks.
Oof.
Yeah. No praxis to be found here. All right. Let's finish the feast, right?
Yes. All right. So I've got to make a choice between awkward conversation or introductions. I'm not doing the all you can eat thing. Here's the thing, because I'm drunk, I think my recognize is -1, so I'm gonna go with awkward conversation. And choose one that doesn't fuck me over too much. Yeah.
This is obviously talking to the prince's entourage, right?
You know what? I was just complaining about my orate being low. So I've got orate 3.
Mm-hmm.
So it qualifies for the card. Being drunk, I get +5 to it. So I only need to pass an 8. It's called power gaming, kids. Power gaming right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very selective reading of the rules that benefits me and only me.
And your geniality doesn't affect it, does it?
No. No, I think geniality only affects flirting, dancing.
Yeah. No, it's got a whole bunch. Any courtly skill: compose, courtesy, dancing, falconry, flirting, gaming. At least this with the feast procedure.
Okay.
Intrigue, orate.
There was a question about when you get the geniality benefits of a card, right? So like
more you don't get it until after you get the card.
Right, but so the only geniality I'm adding is the 5 that I've accrued so far by virtue of where I am.
Any card of last rounds I would allow as well. So not this card, right? The cards you have played in the past rounds add to your geniality.
Okay, so I have to do math. So 6 becomes 5, becomes 7, becomes 8, becomes 13 when all is said and done. So I'm actually really good at orating for this feast and only this feast.
Yeah.
All right.
Did I tell you the husband of your daughter?
You told me his name and that he hates Cornish folk, right? That he's pretty tolerant. Yeah. His name is Madog.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah. So somehow, for awkward conversation, I picked a skill at 5 or less, and now I'm rolling with a better than 50% chance. Pendragon. Weird game. All right.
Should be fine.
So 10 plus.
He lies.
Yeah. Boom. Still failed it.
You failed the awkward conversation. It doesn't have any penalty for failure though. So
yeah,
you don't get the geniality of the card though.
Yeah. Oh, it's clearly someone is like, you told that story so well, right? You told this great deeds, the story of Alder Gap, and I'm just like, oh, yes. Oh, so did you read anything about Sophocles and the sophists from the Greek world? No. Well, perhaps you've read some of the beautiful sermons coming out of the church. Certainly, the Roman ones are best in their original Latin, but do you know Latin? No, not really. No, I haven't read the sermons. You usually have them read to me.
Do you like swords?
I can tell you about swords. Jammed this one in a prince once.
Yeah, it doesn't go over well.
Yeah. It's just, I thought maybe you knew about orating because you told the story well. Yeah, well, I fucking lived it, didn't I?
Yeah. So I want to paint this picture here for a minute from like a higher level, like a high level topography, what's going on. So, and Nantiliad and Astrologus, as well as the Cornish, right? They do see Salisbury as not necessarily a very prize possession, right? It's very flat, very quaint. And in fact, they would probably think of you as very kind of backwater and parochial, but almost like sheep, right? Like kind of just docile. But instead, what you've been showing is like you guys are brutal and like metal as fuck, and that you don't take any shit from anybody, and it's like really disturbing these people who are like completely, you know, misjudged how things go down in Salisbury. They just thought you guys were like kind of nice and polite and just, you know, the eye of a storm that never got hit. But you know, there's nothing to you. Your people are not even that pretty. But instead, you guys are just like monsters.
It's like finding out like your grandpa like neighbor that like just putzes around in his tomato garden. It's like, oh yeah, in June when I stormed Normandy, I was stacking Jerry's body high.
Exactly. And they're like, Jesus, dude.
My buddy Thomas got gut shot. He said, stack me in with the sandbags. I'll keep shooting and you use me for cover. Oh, I just needed to borrow your clippers, man.
It's actually the exact size of an M4 that I used to take out a machine gun nest.
You know what it's like?
Jesus,
it's
dude,
like fucking. It's like
all right, man.
Christopher Plummer, the guy who played Saruman in Game of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it's like no.
Yeah, when it's like, oh, you need to like make the sound and fall over, and he just looked at him and was like, "That's not what it's like when a man gets stabbed." Christopher Lee, there he is. Yeah.
There he is.
Look up Christopher Lee terrifying the shit out of the second director on Lord of the Rings.
It's quite good. Gorthron, have you gotten your glory?
Or
oh, you're below the salt. Never mind. No, you're near the salt. You should have been accruing it a turn.
Yeah, I've marked it. Yeah.
Oh, you marked it, but I'm giving you the tokens.
I mean, on not on the screen there.
Okay. All right. What are you doing for your last round, my friend?
So I drew a card because I'm assuming that bride to be is offset where he doesn't want to make it worse.
Yeah.
He also doesn't want to run any like angry Saxons, any of her brothers or anything like that who might want to
Oh yeah, about
tangle with him, right?
Honorary.
Yeah, I mean he's not going to back down
right?
if they seek him out, but he's not going to look for trouble. So he's
Sure.
going to draw a card, and I got more drink. But he's going to drink that drink. All right, yeah, more drink, indulgence.
What can you do? So
what can you do? He's going to just
wasting away in Margaritaville.
Yep. He's going to nurse his pride with another round.
All right, mandatory indulgent test for you.
For both of us,
both
right?
of you. Sorry, both of you.
Yeah. Oi.
Do you know the sound of a man makes when he is stabbed?
All right, so we get +5 to it.
To indulgent? Oh, because we're already drunk.
Because we're already drunk, yep.
Fuck.
And you guys can't pass out, which is the funny part.
Failed.
Yeah.
Oh, so you both sober
failed.
up.
All right.
That's fair.
I'm in no mood for anything pleasant after my daughter rebukes me like that.
Yeah.
I think the Gortsman thought he wanted more drink, and then he actually gets it, and he's like, oh. Now he doesn't know what to do with himself because he's 20. He's just used and emotional.
We all know that moment, because when you do take that drink, you're like, I know I'm okay now, but that just sealed the deal. I'm booting later. Sometimes you murk the Bronsons, and sometimes the Bronsons murk you.
Murking the Bronsons?
Never heard that?
No. That sounds like a great album title.
Crushing some Sandos, murking some Bronsons, boys.
Crushing the Sandos, I do know. I'm not a Philistine, but I've never heard murking the Bronsons.
Okay, well now you know. All you know.
Right.
I think that might have been an invention by my brother's idiot friends, so I actually have no idea if it's at all.
Oh, I thought it was a Maryland, Jersey thing. Maybe not.
Probably.
All right. Well, then this will be concluding our feast this year. We have a scene before we go to the council. This will be with Gorthrin back in Chalderton. Sir Nesta will be coming to you with a smile on her face. It's like, my liege, I come to you with hope and a simple request.
Certainly, speak up.
I ask for your blessing to be wed.
Oh. Congratulations. Of course. Of course.
Are you sure? He's Cornish.
I mean,
he's a steward, and he makes me laugh. He's great, and I would love to if you would, give me the permission. Smiles in my Pendragon.
Certainly, no, Sir Nesta. Yeah. I didn't.
Yeah.
I think he's more stunned that
I didn't either.
I didn't either.
Yeah. She. Yeah. I actually did. I did an event for her, and I rolled it, and I was like, you know what? Maybe something changed. Maybe she wants somebody. Yeah, they're about the same age. His name's Guardor, which sounds like a metal band.
Certainly does. He's from Cornwall.
But yeah, Nessa's getting married.
All right.
You can test recognize if you want to try to remember this guy or not.
Let's see. At some points in recognize, but not a whole lot.
You vaguely remember like some staggeredly drunk as fuck fellow in the arms of Nesta, but like you can't put the face or anything. Like you're like, it must have been that guy.
Sure. Yeah.
Right. Remember, he sings really bad. That's actually what you recognize with. Said he's a terrible singer.
Terrible singer. Yeah, certainly. Wishes them well. They're gonna be wed this year.
Yeah, so they're also gonna get married this summer.
Okay.
All right, so there's some things to discuss at the council. Gareth,
Who's at the council?
Well, probably wouldn't be. I mean, I guess I should have led with this. I assumed that Gorthrin wouldn't be here for this one. It would just be the Castellans, the Marshal. Oh man, I guess I have to come up with a new seneschal for Sarum.
But I assume Gorthrin isn't at these unless he's invited.
This is a small council.
Yeah. I don't think, because we're sort of past when Salisbury needed the Knights of the Born as a distinct entity, and that is still up in the air. So I think Gareth, especially with how much Gorthrin's been annoying him lately, isn't going to pretend that he thinks Gorthrin would be good at these sorts of meetings yet.
Oh yeah, he's shown zero interest
in.
So Lord Rufus is asking his Castellans and his Marshal for advice about the ensuing upcoming war, right? Between Nantiliad and Idris of Cornwall. Means war's at your doorstep. You're not going to be allowed to be neutral. Who do we side with?
Well, cynically, the Cornish have only ever been an enemy. They haven't been an enemy a lot, but they have been an enemy. I don't know if the same can be said for Nantilad of Estragales.
I do say I'm partial more towards Nantiliad. He seems to have a ambitious mind, and well, I'd rather have a war against Cornwall than a war against him, to be honest. I'd rather, if I have to choose between people fighting, I'd rather him on my side. But I understand that is not maybe the most poignant fact here.
It's important to realize that this is not our war, nor should it be treated as such. You come to an arrangement with King Nantilad, it should be an arrangement. No pressure that he exert on you should make you come to the conclusion that the Cornish are truly our enemies.
So you say there's a middle path where we can ally without making an enemy. What say the rest of you? And they're like, that doesn't sound right. You're not getting a lot of support from the rest of the Castellans.
Rest assured, we will make enemies. We will kill Cornish if we side with Nantilad, and Nantilad may think himself our friend. But if we have cared for the sovereignty of Salisbury as an entity of Lobres, then we should continue to care about that, and we should be wary exactly how much Nantilad asks of us.
Nantilad will certainly ask to bend us. One of the Castellans, like, Nantilad will demand that we bend the knee to him. To think anything else is folly. Yes, but so will King Idris. And like, no, he maybe he won't. And then someone postulates again, like, perhaps if we side with the Cornish, we could bargain for our autonomy. And so I was like, that's a pie in the sky. They're kings. Kings will always want to conquer. They will never settle for that. He's like, I know Idris. He's a good man. And like, everyone's like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? He's not a good man. They're like, all right, you think I'm a bad judge of character? No, I just think you're wrong at this point. And like, people are getting at it right now. It's getting heated, right?
Yeah.
You just let it boil over?
Decision. Yeah, like, I kind of sitting back, let it, and then just like thump the hand on
the table.
The table.
Mm-hmm.
We shall not make this decision now. Certainly not before we have been asked. But we shall look into the matter, I think, each by our own methods, as to which of these kings, the more noble personage, has the stronger claim, the stronger armies. If we are asked to make a decision, Lord Rufus shall make it, with a clear mind and a large stack of papers that I'm sure he'll mostly ignore.
Nice.
I've said my piece. Nentalad is likely the better choice, but Salisbury's sovereignty is our aim, not the rest.
Rofus is going to take that as a cue to sign up with Anteliod.
Motherfucker.
Good,
This
then
guy.
it is settled. I will sign up with him. We will throw a lot with him.
Gareth is not going to hide how unhappy that makes him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, look, Rofus, I mean, it doesn't take... Rofus is not a very complex character.
No, he's not.
Having a king legitimize him even more is like, done. You know what I mean? No one can question his legitimacy. He's married. He's going to get a kid soon. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Like, he's securing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's all he cares about. You all and the ideals of Salisbury are second to his own success. We're not done with you yet, Gareth. One more scene.
Okay.
So, and the results of this, will certainly play out in the next couple sessions. We have a Confederacy of the Born situation to deal with. Sir Larry of Broughton has come to you, asking for some assistance with her own justice event, basically. A farmer is accused of cheating another farmer's sister out of some firewood. Now, the important part of this, and the assistance that I want to bring up, is that your squire, quite out of turn, Llewellyn, quite out of turn, mentions that perhaps they should just withhold firewood from both of them until they sort it out in a cruel manner. To use this opportunity to preach a different way to Llewellyn. So it's less about the justice event and more about a teachable moment, possibly to your squire. Or do you let them speak out of turn? You could argue that their etiquette is poor, but their words are right. Or you could say that both were wrong, right? That no, there's a better way of doing this, and don't you dare open your mouth in a conversation like this again. Yeah, both of those are on the table. What do you think Gorthrin would do?
You mean Gareth, or is this Gorthrin's?
Gareth, I fucking... Jeez,
No
man.
I think I'm going to rebuke Llewellyn for the cruelty.
Yeah.
And stress that the most important aspect of this is justice, not convenience. And the method she describes will produce result, but we don't want any result. We want the result, the just one, the one that, as the deserving party, get what they deserve. He'll stress that cruelty fundamentally centers the decision on the decision maker, and justice is about centering that decision elsewhere.
Yeah.
We are vehicles for God's grace. We are not dispensing our own version.
That is really good. The reason why I say is that I'm struggling to figure out what virtue I should ask you to test for this, to see if this lesson sticks.
Okay.
Prudence? It could also be spiritual.
I
or
think
just,
he would be
just. Like, no,
yeah,
the
could
important
be
part
just
is just,
yeah.
right? Like, this actually could be several different ones. So I'll leave it to you, because that was such
I
an
like
awesome...
just. Fuck me.
She does not take that. She
no
doubles down on her
me.
cruelty as she
no
gets
one's
older.
listening to me. Fuck.
No. Shut up. You can't even control your own family. She does not say that, but...
Right.
Let me be very clear. But she certainly thinks it. All right.
Fuck.
And we have one more scene for this evening for you all. You are summoned by... This is you, Gareth. You are summoned by his name. I do not remember. Shit. I always get it wrong. Warani. Frumbus's child.
Okay.
Frumbus is not doing great this year. He is bedridden.
How old is Frumbus's child?
He is 16. Yeah, 16.
Okay. Squiring. Yep. Gareth is going to sit by Frumbus's bedside, talk with him.
Gareth, it's good to see you.
Is it?
No. Seems these past few years you've given me bad luck. But I can't say no to your face.
If you think your luck's bad, I have to have my own bad luck all the time. I thank you for carrying it on occasion.
Touché, friend. Yeah, and he doesn't say it, but he's dying.
Yeah.
Right.
You think of your child. How's their sword arm?
He's a good kid.
Imagine he'll run this manor quite aptly when the time comes.
He is, by the way, oh, I never actually gave him. He should be a squire to somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know who he's squiring to. Can you roll a D189 for me?
Sure. 62.
Okay. The youngest cousin, a cousin of Elad. Sir Bryn. So he's been hooked up pretty well. Yeah, that's a good person to have. They are known for their loyalty. They are just, but also cruel.
Fair. Big into ironic punishments.
Yes, exactly. Poetic justice is sort of their, towering physique with a sharp face. Okay. Yeah, he's been squiring for some time under one of Elad's kids or cousins. Sir Bryn.
Good.
He's outside. He hasn't come in. He figured you guys want private time.
You have something to ask of me, Frumbus?
No, I have something to tell of you. So perhaps may I have your ear, my liege, one more time?
How about?
You've been a good lord. I thought my fate left me dead on a battle long ago. And it's not often you get to look around and see and know that this is where you will die, and you'll probably end up dying in your bed. Something comforting to it. I hope you get that. As he kind of coughs. It's something, see your children grow old. Under good hands. And become the knights that Salisbury needs. Yeah. Basically, he's at peace, and he wishes that to you. That, listen, I've been in peace, you've been a part of that, and I hope that you also get to know this peace.
God, Gareth kind of does want that.
Yeah.
But he also feels very strongly that he's not going to get it. There's just too much to do.
Now, is it true that bastard Siagris is dead?
So I've heard. He's keeping the warm place warm for me, I think. When I get down there, I shall give him a thrashing for the ages.
I'll soften him up for you, my liege. Yeah, he's like, in for a penny, in for a pound, fist bump kind of thing, right? He's like, still got.
Do you know what Gorthrin was wearing at the Easter feast?
God, tell me about it. Yeah, right.
Swinging.
Yeah, and it's just like this nice conversation. Like he's not gonna he's gonna die later this year in the winter phase. So like if you still wanted stuff next season, you can still do it and stuff. But like he basically has some sort of like I don't know, just injury. I don't know.
Commiserate.
Yeah, right.
Commiserate that kids these days don't wear hose. Everyone's into like pants now. It's like what? Come on,
weirdos.
It's weird.
They don't even guard their loins. All right. Jim, anything for Gorthrin you want to do for the summer here? Because we're gonna definitely do our hunt. I almost said manhunt. Your raid.
Raid
next session.
Let's see. Yeah, I think really he would want to just like make sure that everything's tied up with whatever he has to do with the Wessex treaty, and you know he always assumes that there's something else that he hasn't done, I guess.
Sure, for sure.
For his own personal pursuits,
let's talk about your wife.
He's keeping right. He's keeping his ear to the ground about any tournaments, any local tournaments or anything.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You'll keep your ear to the ground to that, but let's have a quick discussion about this situation with your wife.
Yes.
Now, the funny thing is that you both have been giving each other a lot of distance since that. And the funny thing is that by the time you like bump into each other again and like kind of have a talk, she is afraid that you don't like her and not that you did something wrong. And we have that sort of like romantic comedy thing that she did something wrong when really it's that you were the klutz and you were embarrassed and that this time could have been healed much faster if you just would have communicated, right?
Yeah.
And she says kind of as much as that I was so scared that you did not find that you liked me.
Oh, no, it wasn't anything like that. I'm a terrible dancer. I don't really know where my feet or hands are supposed to go, or no, it's nothing to do with you.
Then it's okay. I'm so sorry. Then I'm so sorry. Then we'll never have to dance unless you want to. But we could do something else. Do you like riding?
Riding is yes, of course, enjoy riding. Hunting, we could do hunting together.
Yeah, I love hunting.
I think that would be.
Let's show me the fields and the woods, and we can talk about hunting.
Yeah, he'll take her for a tour of the manor and his favorite part of it. Hunting.
My dad, it's like, and she'll like do a little like exposition thing. You know, my dad taught me how to hunt, kind of stuff, right? And so like you try to do the little explanation about, you know, this is how you set the snare and stuff. Like, yeah, but my dad already showed, and like, you know, while you're doing that, like she's already set it up, right? Like that kind of thing, right?
Right.
That chemistry, and you guys kind of like try to go to like each other a little bit, right?
I think so. I'd like to roll and see what his love of her is, or however we want to set that.
I don't think it would. If it would in the winter phase, it would come up as 1.
Okay.
I don't think there hasn't been a moment, I think, or anything about like, you know, a quest or anything about.
Sure.
You know, this is just like a normal relationship.
Gotcha. Right. We're just now getting to know.
Yeah, but you cannot help but feel like she. I will say that you cannot help but feel like she's not being completely truthful with you.
And like she's holding something back.
Yeah.
Good way.
Mm-hmm.
I think after their their afternoon together, the riding back to the manor, it's maybe too forward or direct, but you seem preoccupied with something. Like you're not all together here right now.
Oh, it's just that I'm sorry to give you that. This is all very new to me. These lands and that will be my home. They're so different than what I know. This river so close, this fishing, these weirs that you discuss, these woods. I'm used to fishing on the sea.
See, the Wessex isn't that far from here. Surely it's the like. Is he missing the point that she's like not even from like that she's from the continent?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's actually from Brittany.
Okay. Yeah, he's like, oh, not that far. Surely, there's rivers and streams. Yeah.
No. So she's without like a push or anything like that to like crack open this egg, she's just gonna keep deflecting.
Okay. All right.
But I caution you that I think the position that you're in, being kind of awkward newlyweds, these things are kind of open. You could take your chance right now, but I would say like you risk her really like not opening up to you.
Sure.
For a while, right? It just getting almost near impossible later on if this would fail, right?
Given
the
the
stakes.
Given the fumble,
Brittany?
I think that's sort of like Gorthrin's is like eager. He's
wherever Wessex comes from.
Prizes this kind of honestness, generosity, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then he remembers the dance, and just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah,
not really press further.
Thank you. You kind of remind me of my brothers.
What's that?
You're
What
annoying, she says playfully.
Boy. Oh, I suppose all brothers had. I've several brothers myself, much younger. Let's let's tell her a story.
Yeah, totally. And that's great. So we'll end there today. Nice job, everybody. I know it's a really feast-heavy event. Very feast-forward.
Feast-heavy is ideal.
Yeah. But it was kind of a quiet year. A lull between larger things. And it was a chance for us to sort of cement the foundations of a lot of the changes that we are experiencing through the years. Y'all are great. We're not going to 507. This will be a part 2 next year. Then I'm going to 507.
Got some rating to do.
Yeah, I got some extra spice to put in here. We might end up going to 507. It depends on how things go.
Yeah. I think at some point Gorthrin would want to go and visit his holdings in Wessex. But I probably won't be till he's 21.
Yeah, for sure.
Or he decides to travel from.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I mean, there's no ship going out there. You know what I mean? Like they're this way. Yeah, you're kind of.
Was it on the island?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's on the Isle of Wight. Is that what it is? I think it's the Isle of Wight.
Yeah, I think that's right.
So yeah, there's not.
Okay.
Yeah, for the time being, your feudal responsibilities are going to definitely keep you here for the next year.
Sure.
Okay. Nice work, y'all. Good session. We have fall, winter, and then maybe spring to do next year.
Dope.
Sounds good.
Okay. Any quick announcements before we head out? Colin? Same?
No, I'm very tired. Like all the time. I'm only going to be tired forever. Oh,
I hear that.
Good stuff.
Jim?
If you want my syllabus for the upcoming semester for some reason, just to see what I'm teaching, let me know. You can just have it for free. Most of these suckers are paying for it.
Colin is multi-classing into scholar. Or academic.
God.
Yeah.
Papers.
Don't do it.
What about you, Jim?
I got nothing. I'm same old, just here enjoying this new year we have, I suppose, if it's possible. But otherwise, no big changes. You guys can find me wherever it is that you found me before, or maybe you've never found me on the internet, in which case head on over to WebDM's YouTube channel. Check it out.
Yeah. Awesome. And then there's me. Not much else to announce other than I've been slowly cracking on a Forbidden Lands West Marches game that I'll have more to talk about next week once I get all the mise en place done for it. I ran a poll on Twitter to see what kind of system we want to run this West Marches game in, because I feel like I'm not doing enough, and then I could give back and have a community kind of game. And I was looking for something like that. So yeah, and Forbidden Lands just is a bundle of holding. So if you're looking for the rules for the game, it's no better place, no better time than now. No time like the present. So go ahead and check that out. Other than that, we should be back next week, barring the world still here after the inauguration. So fingers crossed, everybody. Take care, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you, Jay Shills. Thank you, everyone, for the subscriptions tonight. You guys are very kind. This support is very generous of you. Yeah, thank you all. Oh, one more thing. Patreon. I put on Patreon for free, I put a post of all the stats of all the characters. And I've linked it in the doobly-doo of last session. I'll link it in this one as well. If you want to know the stats of Gorthrin and the stats of Gareth, as of before this session, they're available. All right, I took a screen cap of the character sheets. Thank you, everybody. All right, take care.